who is a disbeliever from among the people of the book, that's Jews and Christians, it identifies us as the worst of creatures because we are not accepting Islam. So you have said that we should respect other people's beliefs and that we should just let everyone believe what they want. And let me read another passage for you. Just to clarify, this is about Muhammad because you've said it's wrong to tell people that their beliefs are false.
History al-Tabari, volume 6.
This is from the History of al-Tabari. I said to him, what was the worst attack you saw by Quraysh upon the messenger of God when they openly showed their enmity to him? He replied, I was with them when their nobles assembled one day in Hijr and discussed the messenger of God. They said, this is what the people during the time of Muhammad said about him. They said, we have never seen the like of what we have endured from this man. He has derided our traditional values, abused our forefathers, reviled our religion, caused division among us, and insulted our gods. We have endured a great deal from him. Now, this is important because you just said it is wrong. It's wrong of us to criticize other people's religion, to say that their beliefs are false. And yet, what did Muhammad do? He derided the values of the pagans. He abused their forefathers. He reviled their religion. He caused division among them. And he insulted their gods. So, my friend, if you're saying that it's wrong to do all of this, do you now reject Muhammad because he was immoral and a false prophet?
Okay, if you say that Muhammad is wrong, then why is Jesus going to, whenever he comes,
No. No, you said Muhammad was wrong. No, you said Muhammad was wrong. You said, no, listen, because you missed the point. You're saying, if you're saying Muhammad was wrong, I'm pointing out that you just said Muhammad was wrong. You said it's wrong to criticize people's beliefs, and Muhammad, both in the Quran and in his daily life in Mecca, constantly criticized the beliefs. He condemned the beliefs of the pagans, he condemned the beliefs of the Jews, he condemned the beliefs of the Christians. Not all the beliefs of the Jews and Christians, but many of the beliefs of the Jews and Christians, such as the Christian belief in the deity of Christ and Jesus' death on the cross. Muhammad constantly rejected other people's beliefs and tried to show them that they're false. You said that this is wrong. Therefore, according to you, Muhammad was immoral because he's doing something that you said is wrong. So, would you say that Muhammad was a sinner and not a true prophet of God?
Is she there?
Did we lose her?
Jamil, are you there?
I think that...
okay.
Jamil, if you don't get to call back, please call back in the next program. We're also having programs tomorrow. Please call back and have...
What's the topic?
Give the name of the title.
Later today, we're discussing the satanic verses. These are verses that Muhammad delivered and claimed were from God, and then later came back and said, no, actually, these are from the devil.
All right.
And then tomorrow, we're going to discuss the incarnation of Jesus. So why did God have to become incarnate? Right. And we'll also be discussing whether Islam is truly monotheistic. Very interesting topic. So please call back during these shows.
We have more calls?
We have
a lot of them? Yeah, poor guys.
Joe, good evening.
Yes, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Okay, good.
Go ahead.
It's in Genesis, and you said that Jesus is the Son of God, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, but in Genesis also too, chapter 6.
Yeah, the sons of God.
The children of God made it with the women who born to them. You know, there came in chapter 6, number 2.
Yeah, 6, verse 2 to 4, yes.
Saw the daughter of men, that they were fair, and they took them wife,
okay,
all which they choose.
All right.
Then also number 4, there were giants in the earth in these days, and also after that, when the Son of God came into that.
Yeah, okay.
Daughter of men. And also in Job, also they said that...
Job, I'll give you all the references to the sons of God. Job chapter 1, verse 6. Job chapter 2, verse 1. Job 38, verse 7. Job, please, let me finish my point. Job chapter 2, verse 1. Job 38, verse 7. Psalm 89, verses 6 to 8. Psalm chapter 2, verse 7. We know there are references to sons of God. Get to your point, because I know where you're going with this. Don't bombard me with 20 verses where it talks about sons of God. Luke 3:38, Adam's the son of God. What's your point so we can address it? We don't have much time.
The only child of God.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
I said that Jesus is not the only child of God.
If you read the New Testament... Okay, let me address that point, Joe. Like I was going to say, Pastor Joe. Let me address the point. If you read what the New Testament says, go to John chapter 1, verse 14. John chapter 1, verse 18. going to give you the references, and I'm going to tell you why they're important. John chapter 3, verse 16. John 3, verse 18. And then 1 John chapter 4, verse 9. There, Jesus is called the unique Son of God, the only Son of His kind. The Greek word monogenes, the New Testament's not written in English, it's written in Greek. Monogenes means the only Son of His kind. No Christian denies that God has sons. What we say on the basis of the New Testament, as well as the Old Testament, that Jesus is the unique Son because there is no other Son like Him. And if you want to ask me what makes Him unique, we can discuss that. So no one ever said that Jesus is the only Son, period. He's the only Son of His kind, even though there are other sons. None of them are like Him because He's separate from the rest for various reasons. If you want me to discuss the reasons, ask me.
Come, he have more children.
No, look, you completely missed the point. Lots of people can be called children of God. I'm a child of God. Sam is a child of God. We're children of God. What we're saying is that we're not children of God in the same sense as Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus is the Son of God in the sense that he is a member of the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Jesus is the Son of God in a unique sense. I'm a child of God in a completely different sense, in the sense that I'm created by God and that I am redeemed by God and therefore a child of God. We're saying that's not what we mean when we say Jesus is the Son of God, and that's not what Jesus meant when He claimed to be the Son of God. Jesus Himself claimed to be the unique Son of God, and the people of His time understood that He was claiming to be the unique Son of God. For instance, Matthew 11:27, where Jesus says, all things have been handed over to me by my Father, identifying God as His own Father. And no one knows the Father except the Son, no one knows the Son except the Father, nor does anyone know the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wills to reveal Him. Jesus is claiming that no one can even know the Father except through Him, except through the divine Son. And it's interesting, even the Jews of Jesus' time wanted to kill Him because they understood what He was saying. The reason, if you want to know why Jesus was killed, it's because He was upsetting the Jews by claiming to be the unique Son of God. This is, if you want, because as a Muslim, you don't believe Jesus was killed, but you believe people wanted to kill Him because they tried to kill someone and God tricked them and made them think that someone was Jesus and then killed someone else. But even according to you, people wanted to kill Jesus. Why? According to what Muslims believe, Jesus is walking around saying, believe in God and serve Him. Why would Jews want to kill Him for that? The Jews all believe that. They wouldn't have wanted Him to kill Him for that. But if you tell a Jew you are the unique Son of God, you are part of the divine being, they are going to want to kill you. And that's ultimately why Jesus was killed.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You finished?
Yes, go ahead.
Did you listen to what he said?
Did you listen, or are you just going to say there are many sons of God?
Okay, good.
Can you explain to me how could be a unique son for a group of children? And also, too, is that the devil came between them in Job.
Okay, Joe, did you listen to what he said about his uniqueness? No other son of God is the agent of creation. The New Testament says Jesus existed before creation. Joe, let me answer your point. Don't speak over me, please. If you read the New Testament, Jesus existed in eternity before He became man from the Virgin Mary with the Father and the Spirit. If you go to John chapter 1, verses 1 to 3, it says, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. All things were made through Him, the Word. Nothing has been made without Him that has been made. Then John 1:10 says, He was in the world, and the world was made through Him, but it did not recognize Him. John 1:14 says the Word became flesh. So this Word that's eternal, that existed with God the Father in intimate fellowship, this Word that the Father used to create everything became flesh. No other Son of God is uncreated. No other Son of God was used by God the Father to create. Jesus is eternal, He's uncreated, and He created everything with the Father for Himself. That's what makes Him unique. So we answered your question. What's your other objection?
How come you said